afternoon, South Africa. Welcome to Afternoon Express. I'm Bonnie Booley. Hope you're glad it's Friday because there is no day like Friday. Now, today we're joined by author and survivor of a human trafficking, Elanie Kruger. She's here to share the inspiring story of how she managed to get out and turn her life around. Human trafficking is one of the biggest crime industries in the world, and we'll be chatting to a representative of the International Organization for Migration, which works closely with governments across the world to combat this horrific industry. Jeannie's with us in the kitchen.
Thank you, Bonnie. Welcome to the show. And the weekend is almost upon us. It's so close that I can almost smell it. And right now, it smells like chocolate shortcake cupcakes. I mean, not cupcakes, cookies. How delicious. I mean, the smell is just amazing. And of course, we're going to be baking that today with Amanda. And you are the Taste Magazine Bursary winner. What does that mean?
What that means is that Woolworths pays for your studies for 3 years. So it's a 3-year course, and you will be studying at Silwood, which is a cordon bleu school.
Amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And these are going to be the best cookies ever in celebration of Halloween as well. And remember, you can bake with us. So stay tuned because it's going to be tasty. Right now, though, Bonnie's on the couch with the very first guest.
Now, earlier this month, we witnessed Human Trafficking Awareness Week. And today, to tell us her incredible story of survival and strength is Elanie Kruger, human trafficking survivor, activist, and author of the book From Playground to Prostitute. Welcome to the Loft, Elanie.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon.
Lovely to have you with us.
Thank you.
Wow. So, first of all, what is the reality of human trafficking in South Africa?
Well, it is a true reality. It is not something that happens only overseas, like in taken 1, 2, and 3. It is a reality in South Africa. It's happening every day. Basically, every 5 hours, a child goes missing in South Africa. That is quite scary. And what happened, like with networks like Missing Children SA and Pesaro, a couple of years ago, they realized that human trafficking goes so hand in hand with missing children. Because the syndicates is just so wide and broad, you know, they just don't just focus on human trafficking. It is the drug lords that is combined with human trafficking. Wow. It is a very scary situation. It happens daily, it happens hourly, not overseas, it happens here in South Africa. Sure. And it's just growing so fast. It's never been just at the background, it's always been there. It has come to the surface the last couple of months so hugely, and I think South Africans can see what is going on in South Africa.
Wow, tell us about your history. Where did you grow up? What was your domestic situation growing up?
Well, I grew up very, very poor, very abusive parents. Both mother and dad were alcoholics. And then I was born in Transvaal. We moved to Bloemfontein. Very poor, very, very abusive mother. And I'm the youngest of 3 children. And by the time that I was about 15, 16, my mother committed suicide when I came from school. I found her. Since then, my life just went from, it was bad, but it just went from bad to worse.
Bad to worse, yeah.
And I moved to Bloemfontein with a 1-page CV to look for a job. And basically, I was sold out in a brothel escort agency in Bloemfontein. I was there for 8 months. And in there, I've seen young girls, young women, working with me at the back. We were not allowed to work at the front. And I escaped eventually.
Wow.
And I stayed, I booked myself in a hotel after the money that I saved up. And after that, my money just was finished. I was a full drug addict, full alcoholic. And then I lived on the streets in Bloemfontein for a couple of weeks. I was begging for food. And then I had a choice. I had a choice in my life. Am I going to do something about my life, or am I going to stay here and die? And since then, you know, I've been fighting human trafficking, moved to Johannesburg, met my wonderful husband. And ever since I've been fighting this, doing a lot of awareness work. I've done a lot of undercover work that we go into brothels, take out the girls. Some I have found that's been dead for a couple of days, chained up on beds. So it's a reality. It is not something that it's like in a movie, like Taken or Eden. It is a reality in South Africa. And I'm fighting this in Johannesburg. So you can imagine what is out there, what is out there in the world, in South Africa, basically.
How do these syndicates operate? And how do they get a hold on the girls' lives? And obviously drugs play a role. Tell us about that whole underworld.
So much, you know, the social media, it's like, just to tell you a quick story, we had a girl that went missing a couple of months ago. Right. And, you know, pen pals, You know, years ago, you could write somebody living in Australia a letter. It will take months to reach this person. You call it pen pals. So we've actually now, the syndicates basically work on this pen pal website that you have. There's plenty of this. So you've got young teenagers coming from school, tired. Parents are rich, have a lot of money, but there's no time spending with the child. So what happens? She goes onto the internet. She starts playing around, you know, making friends all over. And in this case, this young teenager, she started making a friend with a person living in Australia.
Okay.
And he knew everything about her. So every morning she would say, I'm going to school, I'll chat to you later. And one Saturday morning, she said to him, listen, I'm going to this and this mall. Within a couple of hours, we were called. She was missing. And we found her in a public toilet. Her hair was shaved, and she already was labelled. And she was chained on the toilet. So it happened so fast. It is all over the social media. There's plenty of stories I can tell you. But it's very important that our children don't fall the next victim.
Yeah.
And as a parent, you need to know what is your child doing on his or her phone, what is on their laptop. It is your right as a parent to see what is going on there.
So there you were in the middle of this and you were changed to this life. What role was drugs playing in this whole space? And how did you find the clarity to actually plan an escape for yourself?
If you are drugged, that is when you can do what you are asked to do. I couldn't do and help my clients and serve my clients if I didn't have alcohol and drugs in me. Because there's a difference between a brothel and an escort agency. Brothels, we call it undercover brothels in Johannesburg or across South Africa. That is where the girls are sold out. They are put in a little room there. They make pornography movies. They make pornography movies about young children, young boys. Wow. But drugs was when I walked into that place that evening, the first thing I was handed a glass with a pill. And because I was so young, you trust people so quickly. I mean, I was 16. And my life was just so falling apart. So I needed, as a young teen, I needed something. I knew that was a pill. I knew that was drugs.
Right.
And I took it because I trusted this guy in instant. This is 17, 18 years ago. So you trust people so quickly. And the drug syndicates are so like a spider web. They are so linked with human trafficking. It's amazing. It is amazing how big they are. They are ruling South Africa, basically.
Wow. So in your escape, did somebody help you? How did you do it? How did you save up the money?
Well, there was a bouncer that started to work there. And we became very close friends. And he always used to tell me, you need to get out of here, you need to get out of here. Because honestly, there was girls that came in there that was from other countries. They couldn't even speak English. And I mean, they were sick. They were so thin, young women. And I knew there was something wrong because they were working with me right at the back. We were never allowed to come to the front. And he became such a good friend. He used to tell me, you need to get out of here. And then I basically planned my escape for months. And I knew I had one shot in life. When that front door opened, and that's what I did that evening. I was behind one of where the bar area was.
Yeah.
And I was waiting for the front reception door to open. And when I saw it open, I knew, Elanie, this is it. You need to run. And I had high heels and I went for it. And if I didn't do that, I wouldn't have had that chance in my life again. I wouldn't. And this is what I tell so many of the survivors and the victims that we found, because they lose hope so fast. They just don't have the trust in themselves.
Wow. What incredible strength. But we're going to be back shortly to talk about your book, From Playground to Prostitution. Okay, cool. Jeannie's in the kitchen, standing by.
Thanks, Bunny. Wow, hard-hitting stories on the show today. Remember, we love to hear from you, so please comment on our Facebook page or tweet us at Afternoon Chat using the official hashtag Afternoon Express. We're going to take a quick break. When we return, we're going to be back in the kitchen.
Experience the world in a way less limited. Apply today at dinersclub.co.za.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. Now, it is the time of the year for a trick or treat, and boy, do we have a treat in store for you. Now, would you believe it? I've never made cookies in my entire life. Okay, maybe that is. Okay, so how do we get started? Because these are delicious, apparently.
They are. What we do first is we're going to take the butter and the sugar, put it into the machine, and we're going to cream it.
Okay.
Until it's a light, fluffy, yellowy color.
Yeah. Are these going to be like those American cookies that are like big and then almost a little bit soft in the center?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, this is going to be tasty. I know what I'm having for dinner.
Cookies.
Yeah. It's a problem. Summer's here, but so is Halloween, and these treats are definitely going to be worth it. Okay, so
there we go.
Butter.
Sugar.
Caster sugar.
Yes, caster sugar.
And then what do you mean cream it? Just until it's mixed together that it resembles like a buttery cream?
Yeah, it looks like, you know, like buttercream icing, so it gets that fluffiness with all the air incorporated in it.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank goodness for a mixer.
Yeah.
Would you be able to do it by hand?
You can.
Okay.
It's a great workout. Your arm's going to be really tired afterwards, but you can.
Yummy. Buttercream there. Then do we add things to that?
We're going to add the flour and the cocoa.
Flour. There you go. And then the cocoa. Okay. Do you throw it in gradually?
Yes.
I mean, are cookie mixes, or is it quite a basic recipe for all of them?
This is a very basic recipe.
Okay.
Even you can do it.
Yeah. Gee, thank you. You know me well already. And then gradually throw in the flour. Oh, delicious. So with your course, you're doing cordon bleu, but does that include baking?
Yes, it does.
Really?
We do a patisserie course, baking, there's theory, cooking classes, and it's all fine dining.
Great. Thank goodness I'm not the only person who makes a mess in the kitchen. And then must I throw in the cocoa?
Yes, please.
Gradually, slowly.
There you go. So you want it all to mix together, and then it will eventually start forming a dough.
It'll start forming a what?
A dough.
There you go, done. Oh wow, that's going to be so tasty. It already smells like such delicious chocolatey. Look. You see, this is why I'm not a very good baker, because once I get to that phase, I could just eat it like that and lick the bowl. Done. Don't even have to wait for the next process.
That's usually the best part, though.
Yeah, I know. But don't think I'm not going to lick that bowl at the end of it.
There we go.
Okay, so we've already done a dough, hey?
Yes, we have.
Great. This one.
That is the one.
So from there, it'll eventually end up looking like that.
So what you do is you roll it out onto this grease-proof paper.
Yeah.
And you put some flour on it just so it doesn't stick.
Okay.
And then what you're going to do is, if you're like me, I lose my cutters all the time. So a glass will work. So you don't need fancy baking stuff because not everybody has fancy cutters at home.
Exactly.
So you just take the glass.
And you can do different shapes as well, should you want to.
You just press it down.
Yeah.
Then that's your one cookie.
Great.
Easy.
Easy. And then do you just bake them like that in the oven? Or do you take the excess around and actually just bake them round?
You can remove the excess, and then you can roll it out and make more cookies.
Amazing.
Cookie dough is actually quite versatile because you can freeze it as well. So if you want to make more cookies later,
Brilliant.
Take that, freeze it, make more cookies later.
So how long will this stay in the oven for?
This will bake in the oven at 180 degrees for 15 minutes.
Amazing. And then when we return, we're going to be decorating these babies. So off we put our cookies in the oven, and then we're going to get back with the sweets. Yay! Remember that the keyword is sweet. All you need to do, if you would like the recipe and, of course, the shopping list, all you need to do is SMS the keyword sweet to 33650. And there you will get all the details sent to you so that you could have a delicious treat this Halloween.
We're back on the couch with Elanie Kruger, human trafficking survivor and author. So, now you're a mother, you're a wife, and a fierce activist against human trafficking. How did you manage to just turn your life around this way?
It's a choice you have in life. Either when you're in the gutter, either you say to yourself, either I'm going to stay here or I'm going to get out of here and make something of my life and do something. And it's a choice that each and every person have in their lives, whether you come from an abusive relationship, whether you come from domestic violence. It's not easy what I'm saying, but it's a choice that you have to take and say, you know what, I don't want to live like this for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And there's so many networks and resource centers that can actually help you get out of there. Mm-hmm. It's the same with human trafficking. Mm-hmm. And, I'm a mother of twins. They're 17 months old. God gave me
Congratulations.
Twins after so many years, And, when you look at your children and you know what's out there, that is where you go on your knees every day and you say, you know what, Lord, just protect my children. But it's up to us as mothers to educate ourselves about what is going on outside.
Yeah.
So that you know, so that you be aware, so that you make sure that your child or your neighbor does not fall the next victim.
Absolutely. Now, you run an organization that helps victims of human trafficking. What does your organization do? How do they help?
What we basically do, Victory Inc. started many, many years ago, and then when my book was written, it just, it just went from small to big. Currently, I have a couple of safe houses. A safe house is where we take the girls if they are rescued from brothels, or from the streets. They go to rehab. From rehab, they go to safe houses. From safe houses, in that time frame that they stay there, we are actually, doing counselling and bringing them back as women, and making sure that they understand that they are worth it, because most of these girls, and this is so sad, when they are rescued, they have nowhere to go. Most times, parents and moms and dads have sold them like for $250, which is sad. So when a person and a young girl is raided from the house, then we go with, and then we need to put them back with the families. Most of the times, families don't want them back.
Really?
Yeah, because, poverty, rural areas, it's very, very sad because of poverty. This is why human trafficking is just so escalating and growing in South Africa, because the syndicates are very clever. They go to rural areas, any areas, poverty areas, and they tell their parents, listen, I am from this moral agency. Wow. I promise your girl, I will look after her. I'll give you 1,000 rand here now. Give it to me, and she will have a good life.
Yeah.
And moms, as a mother, you want the best for your child. That's what you want to do. And today, for us, it's just to make people and parents aware, and teenagers. Mostly it's teenagers, please. You need to know what you're doing on the internet. You cannot go and tell every Tom, Dick, and Harry who you are, what you are doing, or where you stay. Wow. This is how these people, these girls, fall victim to this.
Sure. Well, so your book, From Playground to Prostitute, what was it like reliving these moments?
It was quite a time for me to heal. And to forgive. It was hard for me to forgive these people what they did to me.
Yeah.
And that's hard, If you cannot move forward in life if you haven't forgive somebody.
Absolutely.
You still live in jail in that time frame.
Yeah.
It was a healing process, but I was also facing these guys in that time. I was facing everything that my body went through, to service 15 to 25 clients a day, and by force, and by such a brutal way. It was hard for me to experience.
And what did the healing process entail for you? Did you go for counselling and therapy for many years? Rehab?
Years. Yeah, many, many years of rehab, many years of counselling. But also I had to look into myself.
Yeah.
And search and forgive and then move forward. But yes, a lot of counselling. And also we are very fortunate that the English book is going to be turned into a movie for South Africa.
Yeah.
I'm very
That's
grateful.
Incredible.
It is. Yeah, I'm very grateful for Stefan Enslen and Heike Berg. We're busy processing that, And we're very excited, because this is something that South Africa needs, is that big awake and that awareness of what this is happening. It is not happening in a movie.
Yeah.
It's happening to your next door neighbor.
Right here, yeah. And what role does your husband play as a support? And where did you meet? How did you meet?
Husband is such a blessing. I met him in Bethel. I was a single mother there with my daughter. And he came and just did some work there, and then 6 months later we got married and I moved to Johannesburg.
Wow.
He is absolutely divine. He's been my prayer warrior, standing behind me every time that we work on the streets, every time we go out, every time we go out in the field. He's the person that was standing there praying for me all the time. He's being my pillar, and just the days that's so tough, you know, that you just look and you think, oh, is this real? When you look at abuse, children that's being abused, you think, is this real? Is this so real that us humans have become so terrible that we have to take our frustration out on little babies? It's the same with human trafficking. Is this so real that you come across a pornography DVD bought for 50 Rand in Johannesburg CBD? When you look at that, it is little boys from 2 to 8 years old. Oh. Then you think to yourself, you know, when you go home at night, you look at your children and then you say, Lord, thank you for what I have. But please make me a stronger person to fight what is out there.
Wow, what an incredible story. You are an absolutely courageous woman. Thank you so much for sharing this with us today.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
So today you stand a chance to win a copy of Elanie's book, From Playground to Prostitute. Simply SMS the keyword books to 33650. SMSs are R1.50 each. T's and C's apply and can be found on afternoonexpress.co.za. Now, if you want any more information on human trafficking, visit stoptrafficking.co.za. Jeannie.
We're discussing human trafficking on the show today, and after the break, we chat to a representative from the International Organization of Migration. We'll be right back. Afternoon Express wants you to join the conversation.
Like us on Facebook and comment on our daily questions. Send us your tweets at Afternoon Chat using our official hashtag Afternoon Express, and follow us on Instagram for exclusive pictures.
Or let your voice be heard by calling us live on 083 913 3728.
For more info on our daily topics, visit afternoonexpress.co.za and check out our social media platforms where we keep you informed on what's trending in our loft this week.
We love to hear from you on Afternoon Express, weekdays at 5 p.m. on SABC3. Welcome back to Afternoon Express this Friday afternoon. Now, in 2016, it's estimated that 45.8 million people are in some form of modern slavery in 167 different countries. It's the third largest crime industry in the world after drugs and illegal arms. We're joined now by Zoe Roda, who is a program assistant at the International Organization for Migration. Welcome to Afternoon Express. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you for inviting me onto your show.
Thank you.
Rhoda, what is the International Organization for Migration and what work does it do?
Okay, the International Organization for Migration, also known as IOM, is an international intergovernmental organization. We were established in 1951, and our main mandate really is to promote humane and orderly migration for the benefit of all. So that will be migrants, for governments, for the host communities that migrants enter into. And we have a whole range of programs depending on which country we're working.
Right.
My mind is blown that this is even a thing. Take us to the very beginning. What constitutes human trafficking?
Okay. In its most simplest form, really, human trafficking is modern-day slavery. It's the trade in people. It's the buying and selling of people for either free services or financial gain. And there's a big, long legal definition, but really, if you want to sum it up, it's modern-day slavery.
Yeah. Is there a specific gender and age group that's targeted for human trafficking?
Everybody is at risk or could potentially be trafficked. Young girls, young boys, and men and women. I mean, the IOM works with victims of trafficking, and we've dealt with men, women, and boys and girls. Really depends on what the kind of exploitation that will be taking place. Often we find in sexual exploitation, where people are trafficked for the purposes of sexual exploitation, we're finding young boys, girls, and young women. If people are being trafficked for forced labour purposes, for example, work in agriculture, in the mining sector, on fishing vessels, for example, traffickers would really be looking for young, fit men, really.
But, I mean, surely, I'm now thinking it's almost like you kidnap a young, fit man. I mean, how does it work? How do people get trafficked? And can it sometimes be consensual?
Yeah.
Traffickers use different forms of recruitment. They can use, as you've just mentioned, forcible recruitment, whereby somebody is actually abducted or drugged and taken away from their place of residence, or in a nightclub, maybe their drink has been spiked and they become unconscious. But also, traffickers will use, they will often use coercion or deception. So they may recruit somebody on the basis of providing a job or an educational opportunity, and the person will go along with that, but the true intent of the trafficker is to exploit. And so they've deceived their victim as to what their true intentions are.
So the traffickers really do prey on the vulnerable, I suppose.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Who are traffickers?
Traffickers, you can have, we've found that sometimes family, friends, acquaintances can be traffickers, but also you have, as Elanie mentioned earlier, you have syndicates and much more organized criminals involved in trafficking. That could be domestically organized crime within South Africa, for example, but you also find that there's international syndicates operating. So in South Africa, you have Bulgarians, Russians, Thai syndicates that are involved in human trafficking and also in other forms of organized crime.
Wow. Listening to Elanie's story, I couldn't, it's almost unbelievable that happens in our own country. Statistically, where is South Africa with the human trafficking? How common is it?
Where do we sit?
It's very difficult to say statistically what's happening in South Africa. It's only been recently that the trafficking has been comprehensively legislated against. So there's now a Trafficking in Persons Act. But because it's such a hidden, clandestine crime, it's very difficult to identify victims. And there hasn't been reporting mechanisms in place up until recently because we didn't have the act in place. And often, victims of trafficking are misidentified. They may be seen as actually breaking the law because they're involved in prostitution, and then they're penalized instead of being recognized as a victim, somebody that's been forced into prostitution against their will. So it is difficult to know, how many people, but just to give you an understanding, last year the Department of Social Development housed 102 victims nationally. The IOM assisted victims of trafficking, 39 victims, to return home. And that was Ghanaians, that was Filipinos, somebody from Lesotho, so a variety of nationalities as well as South Africans.
So a lot of these victims are being held here, or they're actually being trafficked, which is sold to international countries?
South Africa is a source, transit and destination country, which means that victims are recruited in South Africa and transported on to other countries. And we've had cases of South African women recruited and then sold into trafficking situations off the coast of China, for example. But it's also a transit country whereby victims of trafficking are trafficked through, and it's also a destination. So people are trafficked within internally and also into from other countries.
What are the telltale signs that one can look out for to recognize a potential human trafficking situation?
Often traffickers will paint a picture of wonderful job opportunities or educational opportunities. If something's too good to be true, often it is too good to be true, and it's very important for the viewers, for people to know how to check out whether a job is really, if it is a real job, and to do the background checks. And if they do decide they're going to go ahead with an opportunity, is to make sure that they tell people where they're going, that they take copies of their documents with them, and that they know who to approach if they do get into trouble.
Wow. This is just absolutely devastating. Thank you so much for chatting to us.
Thank you.
I think it's so important to educate everyone so that we're a little bit more aware. After the break, we take a look at a new monthly event that has taken Cape Town by storm called Dine with Khayelitsha.
Experience the world in a way less limited. Apply today at dinersclub.co.za.
Keep it even this summer with Dettol's Even Tone Hygiene Soap.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. Now, over the past few weeks, we've been running an exciting Dettol Even Tone competition on our Facebook page. We asked you to tell us on the Afternoon Express page how you and your BFF get summer ready to stand a chance of winning fantastic hampers, and this is what some of you had to say. So, Fresh Nkobo says, this is how me and my BFF get ready for summer. An outing for the day along with the beach, taking pictures and enjoying the cool breeze of the ocean. Hashtag Dettol Even Tone. Thank you so much, Fred, for that. Then, Piwakule says, Dettol Even Tone, check. Summer for ready, or ready for summer, rather. Check. Hashtag Keep It Even, hashtag Dettol Even Tone. Smiling with my BFF. And then, we've got Caitlin, who says, we use sunblock, beach hats, sunglasses, and carry lots of water to stay hydrated. Hashtag Dettol Even Tone. Thank you so much for all of your beautiful entries. Today is the final day for your entries, and on Monday, we'll announce the winner of the awesome Dettol Even Tone summer hamper. Here's a quick reminder of what you could win.
Keep it even this summer with Dettol Even Tone and stand a chance to win one of 4 fantastic summer selfie hampers, which include Dettol Even Tone products, an LGX cam phone, and the Striker Pose summer selfie stick. Everything you need for the perfect summer selfie. To enter, simply post a picture on our Afternoon Express Facebook page of how you and your BFF get summer ready using the hashtag Keep It Even. The competition closes on the 28th of October. T's and C's apply and are available on our website. Dine with Khayelitsha is an initiative that sees people from all corners of the globe coming together for dinner and conversation in the township of Khayelitsha. It's taken the mother city by storm, and recently I went to go try it out for myself. I'm here in Site C in Khayelitsha to partake in the Dine in Khayelitsha experience, and judging by its success over the past few months, seems like I'm in for some great food and some thought-provoking conversation. How did the concept of Dine in Khayelitsha come about?
We were meeting a group of guys from Switzerland and Denmark, discussing about Have Fun, which is a development program we're running in Khayelitsha. And we were like, okay, no, we can't be discussing about Khayelitsha children in town. Wow. So why can't we, set up, a dinner setting in Khayelitsha? Then you guys can come and have dinner. Then you can talk over this, talk about this over dinner.
Well, I can't wait to experience Dine with Khayelitsha. Should we go inside?
This is something stew.
This guy was privileged enough to be here when this thing was being...
I saw the whole cooking process. So,
he was here.
How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. It's lovely to be in your home tonight. And tonight, Dine with Khayelitsha is being hosted in your home.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
I'm a Dine member. I open up for this every first Friday of the month. We always do Dine with Khayelitsha, conversational dinners. We always host here, and we ask for other homes to open up for us.
What's the largest group of people that you've had?
Largest group was 80.
All at once?
Yeah,
wow.
8, and we managed to do everything for them.
That's amazing. Yeah. And who does the cooking?
We have our chef, Lucanyo.
Hi, Lucanyo. Say hello. So you must meet some really interesting people in this experience. Who are the people that you've met that you will never forget?
Businessmen and businesswomen, because we are in the business, we are doing business here. We are helping people. We are not just doing this for us. Yes. We are doing this for our community. We are paying back for our community because it's 200 rand to get in. The money, we take the money to contribute for our child. We have a group, Have Fun group. We help children to do homeworks. We buy books.
Yeah. And how do the people in the community feel about Dine with Khayelitsha? Are they supportive?
Yeah, very supportive, as you can see outside.
Okay, well, wonderful. I'm really hungry, so I can't wait to dish out. Can I dish out? Hi, I'm Bonnie. I'm from Joburg, but I've lived in Cape Town for about 5 years now. I'm with Afternoon Express, and we're here to experience Dine with Khayelitsha. We're joined now by a founding member of Dine with Khayelitsha, Sivenati Tonga. Welcome to the loft, Sivenati.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Yeah. Well, thank you for having had me at the Dine with Khayelitsha experience. It was quite an eye-opening evening. So once people have dished up and they sit down to eat, how are the conversations guided that begin to take place?
Okay, what we do usually, we have what we call a menu, which we have a starter and a main and a dessert. And what happened to the starter, we have what we call a check-in, whereby everyone gets to introduce themselves.
Yes.
Then after that, then people start to ease a bit. You know. Then from there, the host has a theme of the day. It might be entrepreneurship, social issues. Then from there, they start to dress it up, like, you understand, to the guests. Then they start to engage on the theme of the day. Then after that, we go to the dessert, whereby they get to see, like, that they can say that from their own experience of what they engage in and what can be done, sort of solutions, if there are any, depending on the theme of the day.
Yeah. How did the concept of Dine with Khayelitsha come about? It's happened in Khayelitsha as well and in Lavender Hill.
Yes, we hosted 3 townships at the moment, which is Khayelitsha, Lavender Hill, and Khayelitsha. And that concept, how we came about, we met guys from Denmark and the school called Khayelitsha, and there was a lady by the name of Elaine and Stine, and they say they wanted to make a township, or they want to make their own experience in the township, you understand, and they do not want to go with what they hear and just make their own experience. Then we take it from there. We didn't even know what they wanted actually and who are these people. And from there, that's where it started. And we decided after some time that we want to take it to other places because it's just a nice experience that you cannot get it anywhere.
Yeah.
What is the objective of it though? What did you want to achieve from doing these dinners?
What we want to achieve, wow. Okay. From here, we would like to share the whole initiative with almost each and every township, and they get to get the experience because it doesn't happen every day, whereby you see people from other places to just come and dine there. So sort of give them that raw, authentic experience in the township.
Yeah.
And after people have had the experience, what is their feedback to you?
The feedback, wow, they are blown away because people go home with sort of new perspectives, you understand? Things that they didn't know. And you sometimes be amazed of how can like South Africans still live with such mentalities of not knowing what actually happens on the other side of where they live, because we're not far from each other. It's sort of, there's this sort of a boundary which is like separate us, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, but I want to know what's on the menu. What kind of foods are you serving?
Oh, menu. It's a period that the chef is not here, but we try to give African dishes and we'll be accompanied with a universal dish because not everyone wants to try anything new.
Yeah.
So we try to accommodate those.
What did you have?
We had sampan beans and there was a beef stew, there was a salad and there was a stir fry. I missed dessert, unfortunately, because the conversation went on and on. I mean, it got quite heated. The topic for that evening was fees must fall. And people,
wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you pick the topics?
Wow, that's a difficult one because sometimes you can decide on the topic, but you'll see that your guest does not follow, so you have to switch. You understand?
Okay.
But at the end of the day, we have what we want to actually deliver, and we go about what we know, which is social
Entrepreneurship,
Yes,
So you host these dinners in different homes and people volunteer their homes, right?
Yes.
How has the community received this experience?
They've been, at first they were a bit shocked, you understand, actually what's going on. And with time, as we have been hosting dinners each and every first Friday of each month, they seem to want to be like involved, you understand?
That's cool.
So from there, we just pick, okay, from here we're going to that side. And it's like easy for us because we call it a privilege because we know your neighbor and the neighbor knows me like very well.
Yeah.
If I need anything, you just go to your neighbor. It's just easy like that.
Who should go to these dinners? Sorry.
Yeah.
We should go to these dinners, anyone, because from here we want to we like to bridge the gap, you understand?
Yeah.
Because many people, they don't go to the township. The only time they go to a township is only with the bus. They take pictures and no one is talking with anyone, you know.
Yeah.
So now we're trying to give them that experience and be a part of the community.
So once a person has signed up to come, where do they sign up? Is it online, and where do they meet, and how do they travel there?
Okay, when they sign up, at the moment you only use Facebook.
Okay.
And there is an online payment link whereby you pay online. So if there is an event coming, you would just book your ticket there. And from there, what happens is this: there's a central place where everyone gets to be picked up, which is at the library, at the Central Library of Cape Town.
Okay.
That's our pickup spot. From there, there will be a drop-off spot, depending where we're hosting at that time.
Okay.
It's such a brilliant idea for me because, I mean, imagine so many people, especially conflicting people in the world, were able to sit at each other's homes and share a meal and discuss each other's opinions and perspectives.
Yeah.
It's an amazing way of just sharing and understanding.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming through and chatting to us about
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Siva. After the break, we're back in the kitchen and we've got an adorable special guest joining us to help decorate those chocolate shortbread cookies.
Yummy. Welcome back to Afternoon Express. It's trick or treat time now in the kitchen, and I'm joined, of course, with the lovely Amanda and her gorgeous daughter Layla. Welcome. And are you going to teach me how to decorate these cupcakes? I mean, these cookies. I get confused between the two. I'm not that smart. Okay, so we've got the chocolate cookies that we made, and now what's the next step?
Okay, what we're going to do next is put this icing, which is ready-made royal icing from Woolworths.
Amazing.
All you need to do is add a little bit of butter and maybe some milk if you feel that it's a bit thick, and then put it in a piping bag. They also have disposable piping bags.
Yeah.
So if you don't want to clean up afterwards, you can just throw it away.
Yeah, that's perfect for me. So, Layla, how often do you help your mother out in the kitchen?
Mostly every day.
Really? How good are your baking techniques?
Pretty good.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm useless at baking. These are the first cookies I've ever made in my entire life. They better be good, hey? You can be the judge. So what's your favorite way of decorating?
Show us.
Do you want to show us? Here.
Yes.
Here's a cookie for you. Here's your piping bag. Go for it.
Hold it at the top.
Yeah.
And then you squeeze.
Literally so much fun. The whole family can enjoy baking along with Afternoon Express. Oh, look at you. Go girl.
Spiderweb.
And then we've got all of these other yummy treats. So let's see. Okay, let's have a go. Which ones do you want to put on there? I think, ooh, the teeth are nice and scary. Let's give that one a mouth.
Teeth.
And maybe some eyes.
Some spiders.
Ooh, yeah, spiders. That's a good one for Halloween. Scary, but oh so delicious. So do you go trick-or-treating during Halloween? No.
We haven't yet.
But are you going to go this year?
I think she's old enough now.
Yeah.
She's actually quite keen on it, and her little brother wants to go as well, so I'm going to give in and we're going to go.
Oh, yeah? I think I'm going to stay at home and eat all the cookies. What would be your favorite Halloween costume?
A vampire.
Yeah? Yeah, you've got the vampire teeth. Check.
Hey.
Scary.
Yes.
I found myself pretty scary doing that anyway. Okay, great. And then how about a little, where are the more spiders? There you go. Oh, that's brilliant. You made it look like a little spider's web. Ooh, I've got the heebie-jeebies just looking at that one.
Oh, that's pretty.
Yay!
A snake.
Here's some more finished ones as well to give away, and oh boy, are we going to enjoy tucking into these delicious, delicious cookies. Remember, if you want to bake along with us, all you need to do is SMS the keyword SWEET to 33650, and there you will receive the shopping list and, of course, the recipe of these very tasty treats. Let's have a quick recap. Well, there you have it, the easy peasy recipe for these delicious chocolate shortbread cookies, and they are definitely going to be a Halloween treat. Please help yourselves, because I don't know how long they're going to last.
They look like a kid's dream, hey? And you have the cutest cookie decorator with you.
I know, how sweet is she?
It's adorable.
Oh, thank you. I'll take one of these. Look at you serving us. Thank you.
Yummy. Thank you so much to all our guests for joining us today. Very eye-opening conversations we've had.
Yeah.
Thank you
for having us.
Yeah. So, tell us about Monday.
So, the show on Monday, we're going to be discussing plastic surgery, and we've got Dr. Ridwan Mir in the loft, and he's going to be chatting to us about all different types of surgeries, Botox, facelifts, you name it. And we want you to send us pictures of your before and afters, like you know how you do with Facetune and all those other apps and filters, which is basically virtually or digitally giving yourself some
Plastic
work.
surgery,
So we want you to send us on all of our social media channels pictures of you and your befores and afters.
Don't count on seeing mine. And remember, you still stand a chance to win a copy of Elanie Kruger's book, From Playground to Prostitute. Simply SMS the keyword books to 33650. SMSs are R1.50 each, and T's and C's apply, and can be found on afternoonexpress.co.za.
From all of us here on Afternoon Express, we'll see you on Monday. Have a gorgeous weekend.
Enjoy your weekend.
Good night and happy eating. Ciao.
Next week on Afternoon Express, plastic surgeon Dr. Ridwan Mir joins us in the loft, and we chat to the 14-year-old author Karabong Kholi, as well as we catch up with media entrepreneur Tivo Touch.
Another feel-good production.